It's time for the Countdown Wrestling Podcast. All right, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an stspod.club production. Jonesboro, Arkansas, it's hotter than a blister bug in a pepper patch. I just want you to know that. I'm BT, that's Mr. Z, and this is episode 87 of the Countdown Wrestling Podcast and episode 977 of stspod.club. Let me just tell you, no truth to the rumor that Mr. Z was hunting Sasquatch in Missouri a few weeks back. No truth. No truth. He is from Cali, the 31st state of the Union. Everyone welcome Mr. Z. Mr. Z, how the hell are you?
Oh, I'm good. And speaking of that weather, I'll take this dry desert heat we got right now over that moisture out there. Because
we always say that. People say, "Well, it's dry heat," and I've been in your part of the country, and it is a different heat, especially when you live here in Arkansas. It's really actually nice today, but in the summertime, I always come up with some southern saying. But that wet heat, man, I was in Mississippi in the middle of August one time. I was working a Pizza Hut, and you just get out of your car. You know, I was all dressed up in a fancy button up with a tie and trying to play boss man. And I just get out of it in a car to the Pizza Hut, and I've got just total wetness in my shirt. So, all right, me and Mr. Z did a preview. Now we're going to talk about it. We're here for the 9th annual, and Mr. Z, I can't believe this, 9th annual. This is the 9th. Oh, he's got his shirt on. I was going to put my New Japan shirt on, but you can barely see my shirt anyway. Top 10 performers of G1 Climax. This was G1 35. And before we start the countdown, there's 3 things I made comments I wanted to talk about. All right, Tanahashi on your t-shirt.
Nope.
No, so who do you got on there? I thought it was Tanahashi.
The shooter, Shota Umino.
Oh, Umino. Okay. It's the hair, and I was going to... What was up with Tanahashi and his hair on night 1? Jesus, I wrote middle-aged aunt in the 80s hairdo is what I wrote.
I was like, dang, I took a picture, sent it to my mom. God, I love my mama. And I said, hey, Mom, I think you could do this hairdo better than he can.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious. I was not the only one going, what WTF was going on? Number 2, Elegante Sonata. What the hell is I sent you a message. I said, okay, you watch New Japan more regularly than me, and that's why I've jumped, I grabbed you to do these New Japan things with me. And what is going on with Sonata? What is that? Is there any explanation to the gimmick?
No, I think this House of Torture is getting to him. I don't know what it is anymore.
There was a wrestler, Mr. Personalities, Derek King in the Memphis area, and he would come out. He was like Shawn Michaels. He was the King Jerry Lawler. He'd come out and do all kinds of gimmicks. But I was just cracking up. I had to watch his entrance every time, and that was one of those entrances where I was going to just fast forward, and all of a sudden I said, was that Elegante?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And Tai Chi, 45 years old? Really? Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's up there. He is up there and still doing it, and doing it at a high level.
I said that to me, he had the top 2 matches, probably the first few nights of the didn't end up on the top 10, spoiler alert, but he did. He had to, and I was 45. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's awesome. All right, let's get started. We're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and we'll do a commercial break and do a halftime. Come back with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to start out with Evil at number 10. I had him at 17. You had him at 4. So my question to you is, first of all, we both like this guy, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I as corny as his entrance is, and it's been the same every time. It's never changed. He kind of just rubs off on you. You're like, all right, I can get behind this.
You know, the thing that I think I said this on the last show we had, but in case you didn't hear it, is that it's different. That's the main thing that I like. I like the idea that we're not, it's a total different act. There's no, we're not worried about his work rate per se. We're worried about what's going to go on during the match. And you never know. You really don't. You don't know whether he's going to come out there and not have somebody interfere, or he's going to come out there and you don't know what direction it's going.
No.
But I love that. I love the twists and turns. There is controversy right now with the Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer said that he thought that was the reason. And Tony Khan doesn't like House of Torture. So that's the reason why they're not drawing. That's just crazy to me. I love the mix with Evil. I really do. And we're supposed to yell his name because it's all capital. It's supposed to be Evil. That's what it's supposed to be. So. My favorite match of the tournament with him was in night 15 when he beat Tanahashi. I thought that was an excellent match. My fun time with Evil. I'm glad to know I finally got another friend that likes Evil. So there we go.
Him and Tanahashi and anyone who gets in the ring with Tanahashi, I mean, it's going to be a solid. It'll be a solid match. But him and Tanahashi, they've had several bangers of matches and never disappointing.
Well, and the thing about it is they made a point at the very front and said, well, he wasn't going to cheat, right?
Yeah.
That's the part I like the most about that is he wasn't going to cheat. And he did pretty good until the very end there. Yeah. That was a number 9. I always want to pronounce his name, Tsuji. Tsuji. Yeah. It was both of us. It's one of the few that we agreed upon, but both of us had him at number 10. He made it to the semifinals, and we both had him at 10. And I was in total shock when Evil advanced and he didn't. I thought the storyline was him going again to being able to go to the main event in the main show. Was you surprised at that?
Not, it was
really?
It was more of a 50-50 because I was like, they're not going to let him do it again, are they? And, seeing who he was against, and I was like, okay, maybe they're going to pull the trigger one more time. And then they didn't. I was a little shocked by that. I was like, okay, so where are we going with this?
I know, just total surprise with me. And that's one of the things with the G1. You kind of know where they're going with it, but then you don't sometimes. So, and at halftime, we're going to talk about a wrench that was threw in after the night 1, and we'll talk about that. My favorite match, Tsuji and Umino, those two guys just are so good together. The announcers, and I told this to the wife, I said, the one part I really love about New Japan is that the announcers bring all of the history. During that match, we knew about that Boston Crab, which we know as fans of New Japan, every young boy uses the Boston Crab. But when he put him in the crab, it was like, oh my God. Then they told the first time what the date was of the first time he put him in a crab. I love that stuff.
Yeah, no, and I think that's why I tell people you have to watch New Japan because you're gonna get a better explanation. Like you could be brand new to Japanese wrestling and automatically know who they are, where they come from, what matches they've had. They do. The announce team does a great job of giving the background, and I feel more need to do that.
During Smoky Mountain Wrestling, they had Dutch Mantel was in there doing commentary, and if you can go back and listen, he did this perfectly. All he did was put over the angles. He never put over Dutch Mantel. He put over what was in the ring, and that's what a good announcer really does. Dustin Starr does a good job on Memphis Wrestling doing that too. Both had them at 10, and I want you to know I quit doing stars, 5 stars, when Dave went up to 22 stars for something. So what I did do stars for this tournament because it made it easy for me to figure who I would put where and blah, blah, blah. But what I do is thumbs up. So if they get over a certain rating, which is 3.75 stars, I give the match a thumbs up in the sense that go out of your way, watch the match. It's a good match. It may not be a 10-star. Suji had 4 thumbs up matches, which I found interesting since he ended up at number 9. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8, and I never say his last name, but number 8 is Shingo.
Yeah.
He was number 13 on my list. In was that true? Number 5 on your number 5 on your list.
Right.
Always has a solid, good match. What do you think about what put him that far up for you?
It's just his work rate. He's very, for a big man, is still very smooth in the ring and has never had a disappointing match. Even when I've seen him live, when he had his match with Moxley, it was still solid. And I mean, I thought maybe he was going to do better, and he didn't. But I mean, I still kind of I got a soft spot for Shingo, and I can't seem to shake that one.
No, he had some new tights too. He always has those tights that look like it's like I want to touch them because they look like they're velvet.
Yeah,
I'm like I want to touch that. It's a velvet couch or something. But he had new tights as always. Has a really good match and fun show. My favorite match of the tournament with him was with and so that was my favorite match. Those two, a lot of history there in commentary too. One of them guys coming from, not really New Japan guys. Both of those guys were not New Japan guys. Love the history that they did there. All right, we're up to 7. 7 was, and say his name because I always have a hard time saying this.
Yuya Uemura. Yeah.
Uemura, I'm going to go one time. Uemura at number 7. I had him at 11. You had him at 6. Is this what's the future of this guy? Is he going to be one of the – I know they put him as the 3 Musketeers at one time, and the fans kind of shit on that. But is he part of the future of New Japan Wrestling?
He is, and you just need to let him grow, and that's the only thing that's keeping him. Is he's got to grow just a little more. But every time I've seen him step in a ring, or even just his presence on its own, I get behind it. It's a matter of if the fans can stay with it.
Now I feel the same way. In this is kind of old school with me when I say this, but if he had a couple more inches on him, it would be, and I'll say that about somebody else down the line. But it just, I don't know if it's going to matter, but I really do see him as part of the future. My favorite match with him was against Tanahashi. That was an excellent match. It seemed to mean a lot to him. Fun match.
Well, yeah, given the state of Tanahashi and where he's thinking of what's going on with him, any guy that steps in the ring with him, it's magic anyways. But, Uemura definitely, you can tell it was more of a heartstring match than anything else.
I thought Tanahashi looked better this year than he's looked.
I don't know where that came from.
Just like, the hell, what happened to you? But, the Japanese people are into clean living, all kinds of supplements per se. And no, I'm not saying performance enhancing drugs. I'm just saying they're into stuff like that, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens if he does quit. I like the role he's in, and I'm glad he got a new hairdresser by the second night he came out. So
I gotta find my wig that I used a while back on a show when we went to an AEW show, and my old co-host and we bought the Outrunners headbands, and
that's hilarious.
Both of us full blown big rock wig, and then the headband tied around. I gotta find that, because if I can get that styled just like Tanahashi, I might show up one day on it.
Sometimes I've seen Jericho like this, and I saw him. All I can see is a drunk aunt coming to the barbecue. And that Tanahashi had his hair all. I said, she got her hair all did up. She's trying to find her a man. I was having so much fun with that, which, that's what I do. All right, we're all the way up to number 6. Let me say this. I believe this guy might be the most underrated guy. I said on this roster, but he might be one of the most underrated guys, even though his history, his lineage is Finley. He does not get what he deserves. You had him at 8, and I had him at 8. You had him at 7. What are you going to say? You don't agree? It's okay, man.
No, I do. It's just there's something missing. We don't know what it is. It's there. And I mean, I thought he would have found it the night he came out and gave Jay White the boot out of Bullet Club.
I thought he was going to find it after that. I thought that cage match made him, but it hasn't done anything afterwards, which has surprised me.
Even with the House of Torture one too, it still hasn't.
And I love the War Dogs. I just love them doing. I just love those 3 guys. And is it just 3? Is there another one?
That's 4, I think, total.
Who's the 4th guy? See, we got Maloney, Gabe Kidd, Finley, and who?
Who'd you say we got? Clark Connors.
Oh yeah. I forget about him.
Yeah.
All right, that was number 6, guys. We're gonna go to commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But we're also gonna do halftime.
Coming August 25th to your favorite podcast catcher. Hit me with your first shot. Each month, a guest brings the very first album they ever bought, the one that started it all. Brian Trammell, the longtime producer of The Record Store, listens to it. Then they break it down track by track. From guilty pleasures to timeless classics, it's all about nostalgia, stories, and how that first shot of music shaped who they are today. Tune in for laughs, memories, and fresh takes on the albums that kicked off a lifelong love of music. The first album that hit you, track by track. Where your first record takes the stage. Rewinding to the music that started it all. Hit me with your first shot. Coming August 25th to your favorite podcast catcher.
Wrestling fans, are you ready? Every Friday night in Osceola, Arkansas, MCW, the legacy continues. Live, hard-hitting, family-friendly wrestling action every Friday night at the MCW Arena, located at 1098 West Kaiser. Doors open at 6:30 and the action starts at 8 p.m. sharp. Don't miss your chance to see the stars of MCW battling out in the ring, rivals, drama, and slam-packed action. Following wrestling superstars are appearing: Chase McCoy, C Money, LA Hustlers, Party Factor, Zaya Wolf, DJ Cass, JT Williams, Galen Ray, Serpent, 187-Loot Justice, and many, many more. Here's what I want you to do. If you have any questions, I want you to search Facebook for Osceola's Mid-Southern Championship Wrestling. All ticket information, how to get your ticket, what time the show starts, everything right there on Facebook. All tickets are on sale right now. Be there!
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Next Friday, August 22nd, meet WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi in Tupelo, benefiting St. Jude. Next Saturday, August 23rd, Cowboy James Storm is coming to Gleason, Tennessee for the Tatertown Throwdown, benefiting Gleason Beta Club. Next Sunday, August 24th, meet Rikishi live at the Wrestle Center. Friday, September 5th, meet Buff Bagwell live at the Dyer County Fair. Saturday, September 6th, don't miss Wrestling Night with the Memphis Redbirds. Friday, September 12th, Memphis Wrestling returns to the Lauderdale County Fair with free admission. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
All right, we're back. A real quick note that said next Friday, which it is next Friday. That is tomorrow is the next Friday. Tupelo, Mississippi. Be there. Tatertown Throwdown, the best name ever for a show. And then Sunday in Memphis, Rikishi's bringing one of his other sons with him. It should be interesting to see what happens. Rikishi was in Memphis for a while with Brian Christopher, one of Memphis's alumni there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. All right, real quick, we're going to halftime. I love that.
I almost want to take the belt down, start strumming like guitar, like
there you go.
Hulk
there you
Hogan.
Go. That music is so lame, but I love it. Okay, so let's talk about something. I didn't really say exactly what we're going to talk about, but I want to talk about Gabe Kidd. Probably one of the worst things happening, and maybe Ibushi was worse because it was in the finals. But this was me and you talked big about Gabe Kidd during the preview show. And by the way, I mentioned it a couple of times. I will put the link to the video in the description of this podcast. Man, what was you thinking when all this happened with Gabe Kidd?
I sat there and I couldn't even. I didn't even have time to think. I mean, I'm sitting here at the edge of the bed because we got our little nightstand there that we can sit on, a little cabinet, and I'm trying not to make a reaction to wake up the missus for one, but it's just like you got to be kidding me. Like you can't catch a break. And
I just hate it because we both thought they were going to do, and I would love to be backstage for this one to see what happened with the booking. Always has something good going on, and you have to line all this up in advance so that all the puzzles, the jigsaw puzzle comes together.
Yeah.
But I wonder where he was going to end up at.
Yeah. At least my top 5.
Easily would have been. Yeah, I
5.
think so too. I mean, I think they would have pushed him at least into the semifinals because he's getting a hell of a push. I've said this, but it reminds me of Bryan Danielson and his work, and just oh man, such a great heel.
I think he did it when he was at Battle in the Valley. Was the first time. Everyone says, "Oh, the first time he put the Lions mark on his trunks was the event, like 2 events prior," and I'm like, no. He did it at Battle in the Valley against Eddie Kingston. This one was their aftermath. It was like he took the front trunks off, ripped them off, and he was like, "No, this is New Japan," and just kind of throwing it in Kingston's face when Kingston was down through the table. And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, he's something about him." Even like I said, that presser I was at, he's got something.
Oh, he does. He does, and even with when he was one of the young lions, you could see some personality coming through there. I think the cage match made him a star, and everybody believed him to be who he said he was. Just put it that way. All right, man. We wish the best for Gabe Kidd.
Yes.
Did you see any updates on when he'll return, or is he ready to return yet?
Well, with Forbidden Door around the corner, I was thinking he was going to be a part of that, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything yet. We both wish him the best. We're huge fans of Gabe Kidd and would like to see him healthy so we can see him on a run. So, all right, guys, that was halftime. All right, we're up to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and number 5 is Drilla. Is it Drilla the Gorilla? Drilla the Gorilla Maloney.
Yep.
Apparently a lightweight, gain a little bit of weight here. You had him at 3, which I thought, oh man, you had him up there close. I had him at 11. He didn't have any thumbs up matches, but everything was so solid. Good looking guy.
Oh yeah.
Love his music. I'm a huge fan of his music when it's coming out. I do a lot of fast forward when it comes to theme songs, but I always listen to him. And he has the most dangerous move in pro wrestling.
Ooh.
Oh, number 5. So talk to me. Why was he number 3 for you?
It's Drilla Maloney. Played it simple. The man's built like a brick house. He's got that Adonis look, which is great. It definitely gets over with the American audiences out here, because when he was at Battle in the Valley, I mean, you hear the stories, and I mean, you're from the area of when the women would go to the shows.
Oh yes,
just to see the men, and
we talked about that about the Fabs. The Fabs had so many women going to the shows just for them.
Yeah, and it's like you hear the women scream when he comes out because he's got that look, and you can't deny him. He had some solid matches. He had a great showing. I felt like he deserved that spot. There was no contest to me.
I'm a fan. I really like him a lot. I think he's like you said, I could see him selling a lot of pictures to the girls and having a lot of women knocking on his door. Just put it that way. Yeah. All right. Number 4, LELP Phantasmo. We both I had him at 6. You had him at 4. Averaged out that he ended up at 4. He had 3 thumbs up matches. This was his best G1 to date, and he did not slow down. There was no silliness. There was no nothing. Some really good matches, just solid. You knew you was going to get something good with him, and just fantastic showing for him.
Oh yeah, no, great showing for El Phantasmo, the headbanger, as my daughter likes to call him. He's come into his own. I mean, no tag partners anymore. His longtime partner, his family is what he called him, has finally went to the other side. And I felt like this G1 really brought him to his own, and I could not complain the showing he had as well.
I agree 100%. Just getting out there and doing move after move, flying over the rope, all that stuff that he's so good at doing, and just he wants to have a good tournament. He did. By the way, Maloney, my favorite match with him was against excellent match. And my favorite match, Phantasmo, was Zack Sabre Jr. was my favorite match in the tournament. Just an excellent match. Guys, one of those go out of your ways to see if you want to see 2 different total styles and how they work each other and how it works when you got 2 pros like that in the ring. All right, we're our way up to number 3. I always want to say Red Shoes before I say his name, because his daddy is always the referee, which I find hilarious. Umino at number 3. I had him at 7. You had him at 1. He had 4 thumbs up matches, the most of the top 10 up to this point. And I'll ask about him again. Is he the future of New Japan? I know you got that shirt on. What do you think, though?
Well, this is his Rev Pro shirt, so I've been following him for a while. So.
Oh, wow.
I haven't got the new shirt yet. Mrs. Z, please, can I have the shirt? But, no, I feel if he goes on a heel run, he just might be one of those pillars to lead into the future. He's great in the ring, very charismatic. The crowd loves him. Kids love him, which is the important part. And I haven't, when he came back, everyone says his debut with Moxley.
That was, but I want to tell you, I would love that stuff. I absolutely love that stuff. Huge. I used to be a huge Moxley fan, but I've lost my esteem with him with all that he's done. But that was my first. I was like, I like this kid. I like him. Being put as one of the Three Musketeers, whatever we think on that part. Mm-hmm. But he was. I don't know, man. He has it. He really does. And I have a fun time watching him. When he comes to the ring, I know I'm going to have a good match. Yeah. It's kind of funny with his dad being the referee. And you mentioned something. Going heel, this guy's going to have to heel his dad if he goes heel.
Yeah, so I was already thinking that before you had said it.
I can't wait to see that. So
speaking of Red Shoes real quick. Possibly one of the greatest gimmicks of a referee next to Earl Hebner. I don't know what it is about him, but it just he stands out.
There was one G1 in the last 9 years. I didn't enjoy his work, but I've become a big fan of his. He does. And just the idea that he's in there with his son, and it's mentioned every damn time he comes out there. Yes. So that might be what they're thinking about. But yeah, good referee. By the way, my favorite match of the show or the G1 tournament with Umino was I know it surprises you that he had such excellent matches, but he did. And speaking of he's our number 2. He had 7, the most of the tournament for me. He had 7 thumbs up matches. I had him at number 1, and you had him at number 5. But I think he had better matches overall than anyone. But he didn't get number 1 because we had the combo. But he was picked, and we're going to talk about it on Patreon. He was number 1 last year, which I thought was really funny because him winning the tournament, which kind of surprised me. And I got spoiled. I did not get spoiled on any match except that match and his match with Finley. And I was like, shit. That reminds me of one year when New Japan World, I can't remember who it was, but they put the winner up on New Japan World at the very front of the show, of the page, and spoiled it for me. But you had him at 5. Why'd you have him at 5?
Kind of more of just I'll be honest. It's probably just how AEW's made him look. And I just kind of hold a little bitterness to it because I know he's damn good and we've seen it, but he's never shown this good on American television.
I was describing him, and he was one of my breakout stars a couple of years ago, before his first G1. And my partner that was with me for the Countdown show was like, I don't see it in him. I don't see it in him. I was like, yeah, just wait. And we had a few people reach out to us after that and told Lance, you don't know what you're talking about. He's the future. And my wife said, well, who does he remind you of? Because she doesn't watch. She knows some of the wrestlers, but she hasn't seen him. And I said, he reminds me of a combination of if you put Okada and Omega in some kind of machine and mixed them up and said, okay, here's the wrestler. That because of the charisma, the Okada charisma, and then the moves are just as tight and just as good as what Omega was doing. It was very interesting to see what kind of future he has because he works so hard, so stiff, does things he really don't have to do, but we see him doing a lot of it. Great at selling. If someone's messed up his leg this time, but just really good at it. Like I said, he ended up having the most thumbs up, 7 thumbs up. And my favorite match, which I think I mentioned earlier, but my favorite match with him was I gave another match. My favorite match of his was actually against Finlay. I really, really dug that match. I thought it was a really good match.
Well, when you talk about a gentleman's agreement, and we already know New Japan style is stiff.
Yes.
They did not hold back, and I loved it.
Oh, not at all. That's another one of go out of your way to see kind of thing. Well, our number one for the year, Nathaniel, we both had him at number 2. That was what we agreed upon. 6 thumbs up matches for me. I want to tell you something. You hadn't been with me very long, Mr. Z, but I used to not be a fan of this guy. Zack Sabre Jr. is our number 1 pick. He is the number 1 guy for 2025. Talk about him for me.
Well, ZSJ is very technically sound, and you don't see too much of that anymore, especially for the American audience. Unfortunately, I feel like the American audience would find him boring, just because of his style. But if he was out here running independent shows, top draw. They're packing houses everywhere he goes.
My problem with him was that I always said he was so skinny at the time.
Yeah.
And he reminded me of the kid across I said he was the kid that lived across the hallway at my apartment complex, just tall, skinny kid, attitude, blah, blah, blah. But he gained some weight and is so believable in what he does. And the moves and what he puts people in, yes. But not only that, I'm going to go on the other side of it. His selling has turned into something that when he gets hit, you wonder whether he's legit knocked completely out. He's not moving. His eyes roll to the back of his head, and he's just really good. And on Patreon, I'm going to give you a secret that I've said many years about Zack Sabre Jr. I'm going to give a secret to Mr. Z here. He don't know it, but I'm going to tell him. My favorite match, and you're going to probably laugh when I say this, but my favorite match of Zack Sabre Jr. was Great-O-Khan match. I love that match, and I don't know why, but it was just an excellent match. I like Great-O-Khan. No one else does, but I do.
No, you know what? Great-O-Khan rubs off on everybody. I mean, his stint with the KOPW title had to have been my favorite run of Great-O-Khan. So that's where I kind of he kind of warmed up on me a little bit. But yeah, him and ZSJ.
Man, they had a really good match. I love the way he sits on people in the corner. That's one of my favorite things. I reached out to one of the Memphis guys, a big guy, that I'm gonna show him, hey, look at this. You're big enough to be sitting on somebody in the corner. I love it. All right, guys, join us for Patreon right now. The main feed's gonna stop here on Facebook. Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night at 7 p.m. We were right there on time. Mr. Z, I don't know why I want to call you ZZ. I don't know what that's about, but top of the man, ZZ. But we were right there on time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It's always a chore to watch the G1, but I like the way they did this format where the first 2 nights you had everybody working, but then throughout the rest of the tournament, you had 4 to 5 matches, and you could watch it within, an hour and 20 minutes usually, and fun to watch. All right, same bat time, same bat channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, Mr. Z even knows this because he's been on 5-minute time limit, and I love my mama. Thank